Trust me when I say this. I've had the privilege of seeing from the inside what makes some organizations connect so deeply with people, while others, doing equally amazing work, seem to struggle to get their message out. Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm Ankush, and for almost 15 years now, I've been working in and around nonprofits across the world. I've had the honor of training and coaching more than 500 nonprofits across 20-odd countries. And time again, the thing that makes the biggest difference comes down to one thing: the power of a great story. That's right, I know what it is like. You're juggling a dozen different tasks, you're passionate about your mission, but getting that passion across, making people feel the importance of your work, that can be really tough. And that's exactly why I've created this short course. I want to demystify storytelling and give you a simple, powerful framework that you can start using today to connect with your community, to inspire action, and yes, to raise more money for your cause. This free course is a little taste of what we do in my upcoming 5-day AI-powered bootcamp for nonprofit marketers and fundraisers. But I promise, what you learn in the next few minutes will be a game changer. So grab your notebook and let's get started. All right, first things first, we need to talk about a fundamental shift in our mindset. What am I talking about? Most of us think that our job as nonprofit marketers is to tell the story of our organization. We talk about our mission, our programs, our metrics, our achievements, and that's all important stuff. But our audiences don't connect with a program, they connect with a person. Think about it. When was the last time that you went gaga about a particular program about a nonprofit? I don't think I can remember something off the top of my head. Your organization is not the hero of the story. Let me pause. Let me say that again. Your organization is not the hero of the story. The people we serve are the heroes. And even more importantly, your donor is the hero. Think about it. Your donor is Luke Skywalker. You are Yoda. Your job is to guide them, to give them a meaningful way to defeat the empire, whether that's hunger, illiteracy, homelessness, or injustice. Your organization is the lightsaber, the tool that enables them to win. So the next time you write an email or a social media post, ask yourself, who is the hero in this story? Is it me? Or is it the person reading this? When I was working with DivInc in Austin, this was so clear. The mentors that we had at DivInc were the real heroes. The real victory wasn't just advising a startup, it was seeing that the founders they coached successfully pitched to investors and secured the funding to build their dreams. These mentors were the guides, the Yoda who helps the hero win. So here's your first activity. I want you to pause this video and just take a couple of minutes. Write down the name of one person your organization has helped. And next to their name, write down the name of one of your donors. Now draw a line connecting them. That line, that's your organization. And that is your story. See how that feels different? We'll build on this one in the next section. Okay, so now you know who your hero is, and now you know what story you want to tell. But what story do you actually tell? It can feel a little overwhelming. I've been there and I've gone through this journey through hundreds of organizations. You have so many stories, right? I've realized that it helps to focus on 3 core narratives. If you can master these 3, you'll have a story for almost any situation. The first one is the story of the one, or like I say, the empathy story. This is the most important story in your toolbox. It's not just about the thousands we serve or the millions whom we affect. It's about one person. We cannot empathize with a statistic, with a number like thousands or hundreds of thousands, but we can all empathize with a single human being's struggle and their triumph. Let's look at one of my dearest organizations here in Austin, Texas. Instead of saying integral care helps thousands with mental health challenges, we can tell the story of one person who called the 988 crisis helpline, found a compassionate voice in their darkest hour, and was connected to counseling that helped them find stability and hope again. That one story makes the work real. It makes relatable. It creates empathy. So that's the first kind of story, the story of one. The second kind of story is the story of us, or the community story. This story is about why you exist, why your organization exists. It's your origin story. But it's not just about the founder. A lot of times I've realized it just becomes about the founding members or the founders. No, it's about the community that came together to solve this problem. So for example, Divink, an incredible organization that I've had the honor of working with, it did not just appear. It was born out of a very clear need that Preston James realized when he looked at Austin's booming tech scene and saw who was being left out. He saw brilliant women and founders of color who lacked access and resources. The us story is we knew our city's innovation was incomplete, so we built a community to ensure everyone has a chance to create the future. That invites others into the mission. And I know Preston, he is such a charmer. So anytime he tells the story of how Divink was founded, he just reels people in and they feel connected to the mission. The third kind of story is the story of now, the urgency story. This is the kind of story that answers the question, why should I give now? It gives your hero, the donor, a specific timely mission to complete. And this is really critical. So let me share a real story from my own experience. I was working with Foundation for the Homeless here in Austin, and a couple of years ago, just before Thanksgiving, the team wanted to put together Thanksgiving meal kits for every family that works in our housing program. The goal was to launch an online crowdfunding campaign to raise about $7,500, and we planned to raise that money in about a couple of weeks. Instead of just putting up a donation page on a crowdfunding platform, we really leaned hard into the story of now. The message was clear, specific, and timely. Help us raise $7,500 before Thanksgiving week so a family which is going through our homelessness program can share a holiday meal together. We gave our donors a specific achievable mission with a deadline. And the result was incredible. Using proper storytelling techniques, we didn't need 2 weeks. The Austin community and our kind donors rallied together and we raised the entire amount in just a few days. That is the power of the story of now. It transforms a general need into a specific, urgent mission for your hero, the donor. All right, so here's your second activity. On that same piece of paper, or iPad, or laptop, or phone, I want you to brainstorm one potential story for each of these categories. The first one, who is a person whose life was changed by your work? Could possibly be a name, could be a person, could be a community, could be a group. The second one, what was the moment your organization was founded? What problem were you trying to solve? And the third one, what is one urgent need that you have in the next month? Go ahead, pause the video, and just get some initial ideas down. Okay, so now that we've identified what kind of stories we want to tell, let's look at how we want to tell those stories. You now have your hero, you have your story ideas, and now how do we structure them so that the stories actually work? No, you don't need fancy film degrees. You just need to understand very simple, very human story arc. It goes something like this. The hook, which is start with a person in a relatable state. The problem, where we introduce the challenge or the obstacle. The guide, this is where you, the nonprofit, enters the story. The action, the hero, which is the donor, makes the victory possible. The resolution, show the success, show the happy ending. The ask, finally invite the reader to become a hero as well. That's it. Hook, problem, guide, action, resolution, ask. You can use this structure for an email, a social media post, a video script, or even a grant proposal.
Hey, it's my AI clone. My creator forgot a critical point, so I'm digitally inserting this. After the resolution, the happy ending, your audience feels inspired. The biggest mistake you can make is ending the story there. If you don't give that emotional energy an outlet, it vanishes. You've led them on a powerful journey to a dead end. you must provide an off-ramp for that inspiration. That off-ramp is your call to action. It's the final, non-negotiable step that turns feeling into action and impact. Don't skip it. Now back to our originally scheduled program.
Okay, one last activity, and I promise I won't bug you after this. I want you to pick one of the story ideas that you brainstormed, preferably the story of one. Using that simple 6-step arc, just write one sentence for each step. Okay, let's try outlining a story using a real-world example, again, of one of my favorite organizations, Integral Care, and their mobile crisis response team's newly launched mental health vans. All right, so let's see. Possible hook could be Maria was a single mom in East Austin whose teenage son was having a severe mental health crisis, and she was terrified that he would end up in the ER or jail. The problem could be she felt helpless, he wouldn't leave the house, and she was afraid that calling for help would only make the situation more frightening and traumatic for him. The guide? Then, a friend told her to call Integral Care's 24/7 crisis helpline. Instead of sending police, they dispatched their new mobile mental health van. The action. Because of a gift from someone just like you, that clinical team was able to go directly to Maria's neighborhood. The resolution. Within an hour, 2 compassionate professionals were sitting in their own living room, de-escalating the crisis and connecting Maria's son with the care that he needed right there in the safe space. The ask. You can help another family avoid a traumatic emergency room visit. A gift of $75 today helps fuel that mobile van for a day, ensuring help that can get to the next person who needs it right where they are. See how that brings a very specific, innovative program to life? It's powerful. Now, pause here and give it a try with your own story. Okay, let's bring it all home. We've talked about making your donor the hero. We've covered the 3 essential stories every nonprofit needs, and we've given you a simple 6-step framework to structure your narrative. But this is just the beginning. The real magic happens when you start telling these stories consistently across all of your platforms. But my hope is that this has made the whole idea of storytelling feel a little less intimidating and a lot more achievable. Because your work matters, and the world needs to hear your stories. You know, I said earlier that I've worked with more than 500 organizations, and it is absolutely heartening to see how, despite all odds, with such limited resources, us nonprofit members, professionals, organizations are constantly striving. I believe in your mission. I believe in your cause. I believe in your passion. What's needed is for us to use these tools to make sure that more and more people are connected with the mission. Now, if you found this helpful, and if you're thinking, okay, I get the framework, but how can I do this faster, more efficiently, and measure what is working and what is not? Well, that's exactly what my 5-day AI-powered bootcamp for nonprofit marketers and fundraisers is all about. We take these core ideas and we amplify them with the power of AI. We learn how to use simple tools to brainstorm story ideas, write first drafts of emails, social posts in seconds, and even create compelling video scripts. All of this while keeping your organization's voice, your mission at the heart of it. And no, this is not a replacement for your copywriters, for your marketing crew, for your social media managers, but this is a co-pilot that 10x's their productivity. It's designed to save you time and give you the confidence to be the storyteller that your organization needs. Now, if this sounds interesting, then you can click on the link below to learn more and sign up to our Skool.com community. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Go out there and tell some amazing stories.